or supporting our right view of insight, Vipassana Samadhi, with Samatha, tranquility or serenity, so that we can strengthen or keep it alive. This Vipassana Samadhi, the right view of insight, to bear path and fruition, the fruit of path and fruit, Megaphala. Today we shall go on, we shall continue with this subject because it is very much concerned with the practical aspect of meditation. That is the reason why it has to be repeated oftentimes, so as to convince the yogis about the practical aspects of this subject. When we are trying to escape or to be liberated from the bondage of kilesas for the practice of Satipatthana, there are many obstacles to be overcome. Like when one is traveling through a forest which is infested by many bad heads, robbers, thieves, there is a danger of the traveler being robbed of his or her properties, and one may even suffer loss of life, not only the loss of property, but also loss of life. Even if one does not lose one's life, one will be deprived of one's belongings, so that one is bound to suffer loss at least. This is very much like these kilesa, kamachana nivaranas, hindrances, obstacles to progress, beginning with the hindrance of sense desires. There are 5 kinds of hindrances, as given in the text. They are very much like these robbers who are there waiting for you, waiting to rob you of whatever you possess. So, if you are trying to escape from the bondage of kilesas, from the soil in which kilesa grow, to escape from this place and to reach the land of freedom from bondage. There are hindrances to progress, obstacles, or nivaranas. Another name for that is chetaso upakilesas. They are impediments to progress. They can cause impurities in your mind. They can also weaken your insight knowledge, as given in the text. So, while you are practicing the Satipatthana, you'll be coming across many enjoyable things, enjoyable sights, sounds, and things like that, which are very much like the robbers. Then you have this, when you have good things to think about, you'll be enjoying to see them, at least in your vision, to hear good things, at least in your vision. And sometimes you may not be able to exert energy in the practice of high-level discipline of the way of mindfulness. And even if you exert energy, you will not be able to do it energetically. You will soon get exhausted while you are striving in the practice. You will be shrinking back from the practice. And also, there can be occasions when your mind is distracted, become restless, so that your naughty mind is removed from your object of attention. You'll be thinking of other things. Your mind will be away, not on the object of attention. And then, not only restlessness, but there can be worry, about things, good things undone or bad things done. And one can also be attacked by skeptical doubts, not being certain about things that you are doing. Such are the hindrances, obstacles to your progress of insight. So, while you are trying to stay with the object, connect your mind with the object, these hindrances, one or more of these hindrances are bound to attack you. Just like the robbers and thieves are waiting for you at the junction when you are traveling through the forest. So, when you have to take preventive measures, try to avoid them. And if at all they attack you, try to gain the upper hand. Try to overcome them, because they are dangerous things. And if unavoidably, if you are attacked by these robbers or hindrances, you must try to gain the upper hand of these robbers or hindrances. So you must defend yourself, take defensive measures, and if you are attacked by them, you have to offend, you have to attack, you have to counter-attack. Defend yourself and fight it out. First, avoid, and then try to take the upper hand by overcoming them. So too with the practice of Satipatthana. In the practice of Satipatthana, trying to nurture your right understanding of insight, these hindrances, obstacles are bound to arise at one time or another. So you have to defend yourself, prevent them from attacking you. And if you are attacked by these things, try to overcome them, try to gain the upper hand of these things, not to give way to them. When you say defend yourself, protect yourself, you can defend yourself, you can protect yourself only when you have enough energy to do it. You must be powerful enough to do it. Otherwise, you will be the loser. You will be overcome by these hindrances or obstacles if you are weak, if you are not strong enough to defend yourself. Just like when you are attacked by the robbers, if the robbers are stronger than you, then you will be the loser. Unless you are strong enough to overcome them. And all these methods of prevention, methods of overcoming are given by the Buddha. So today we shall discuss about this subject. Commentaries have given these similes. Simile in the form of gardening, as we have discussed, gardening of sapling, cultivating, planting a sapling, in this case a mango plant, looking after it, taking care of it, nurturing it so that it will grow and bear flowers, buds and fruits. While you are growing this plant is liable to be attacked by insects and pests. And that is the simile given by the commentaries, which is quite reasonable. Just as a plant is liable to be attacked by insect pests, so too with the practice. Even if however much you water the plant, take care of the plant, put up strong fence, feed it with fertilizer, dig the ground, work the soil and so on, these insects may come out of the blue. So gardener has got to look after it, nurture it again, as regards these pests and insects. The gardener should not have mercy on these insects. First, he or she will do preventive measures, and if at all they are attacked by the insects, he or she will not have a mercy on these insects. Instead, he will remove them by suitable means, so that the sapling will grow into a green plant and develop into a tree bearing flowers, buds and fruits when the time comes. So this is how the simile has been given, to compare with the practice of Vipassana yogis. Because in the case of Vipassana yogis, these impurities called kilesas can attack you, because they have been all along with you throughout your lifetimes, innumerable lifetimes, throughout your rounds of existences. They have been with you all along. So they are bound to pounce on you when you are careless, when you are not noting properly. And these nivaranas, hindrances, have to be protected, have to be prevented by means of satipatthana. And if they at all attack you, you have to overcome them again with the method of the way of mindfulness. So both prevention and treatment are done by this satipatthana method. You must have the practice of doing it. You must be used to it. If there is no practice, because then your mind would not be energized, you will not have enough energy, enough power in order to prevent or overcome them. You need practice, right? Which means, as we have discussed, to stay with the objects to be noted, beginning with the main objects of rising and falling, and every other rising object as they arise, as it arises. First, taking an aim at the object. This is again application of Vipassana jhana, in order that your noting mind becomes concurrent with the object. And then there has got to be energy, application of energy, driving force, ardent energy, atapa luna viriya, heroic energy, in order to drive your noting mind towards the object of attention. All these two mental powers are crucial for the satipatthana practitioner. You have to apply this aiming all the time to be concurrent with the object, so that the hindrances are prevented from attacking you, from coming on you. If you are able to apply ardent energy, if you can do it energetically, then you take the upper hand, you gain the upper hand, or overcome sluggishness or sloth and torpor. So aiming is vitakka, application of the noting mind to the object, so to be concurrent, so that your noting mind will not overshoot the object of attention. So that such as overshooting means the mind being distracted through unwholesome thoughts of sensual pleasures, when you have something to take delight in, and if you are not delighted in it, if you are upset, or if you are angry, or if there is aversion, then this vyavada vitakka will have thoughts of harming others, thoughts of ill-treating others. All these things are unwholesome thoughts which can arise if you are not concurrent, if the noting mind is not concurrent with the object, or you are not applying this power of aiming at the object. So just try to be concurrent with the object by taking an aim on the object. Then there will be no entry of these hindrances or obstacles. If only you are able to apply energy in order to drive your noting mind towards the object, your mind will always be energetic, diligent, wakeful, active, so that there will be no sluggishness, no laxity, no lack of energy, no laziness. Thus, these kilesas, impurities, will not have a chance to arise in your stream of consciousness. In this way, this protection by means of Satipatthana is very important with the application of these mental powers. All along the lifetimes, we have been taking easy, having a comfortable life, don't want to undergo hardship. So when it comes to the practice of the way of mindfulness, high level discipline of way of mindfulness, which will give you prosperity, physical, spiritual prosperity, to cultivate your mind and insight, to reach the maturity of your insight, and to be able to withstand worldly conditions, because you're being used to this comfortable life. You don't want to exert energy, ardent energy. Instead, you will be taking easy, you will feel sluggish, you don't want to exert energy. Even if you want to exert energy, you soon get exhausted. You want to be laid back, such as known as Tanti. China Meda, sloth and torpor also can set in, not wishing to exert energy, and even if you exert energy, you get exhausted. You don't have enough energy, exertion of energy, adantito. So, in order to uplift yourself, to gain this spiritual prosperity, you have to overcome such sluggishness and not to take things easily. You have to strive. You must take risk. If you don't take risk, then you will not be able to succeed in the practice. And not only would you be afraid of taking risk, even if you exert energy, because you are not doing continuously, you get exhausted, you will not be able to exert energy to reach the goal, because you feel exhausted. So such are the hindrances to progress, tanti. So, in order to be able to overcome them, first of all, you've got to apply initial launching energy. That is the first thing you have to do. And once you build up momentum, you have to boost up your energy, so that your energy becomes ardent energy. This is boosting up your energy, boosting up your heroic energy, virya. As we have already discussed, you'll be able to overcome the near internal enemies, which are the hindrances, obstacles to your progress. And such an exertion of energy is known as Nekama Dhatu. You are applying energy in order for liberation, to be liberated from sluggishness. Because if you are doing it easily, then you will not be able to exert your energy. So, in this case, you have to exert energy, initial energy, and then boost up your energy to be liberated, to be free from sluggishness, which is very important for the yogis. Now, what kind of people have such disadvantages, the hindrances. What kind of people are overcome by these hindrances or obstacles to progress? Those are the kind of people who are not fully aware of the benefit of Satipatthana practice. Because they do not understand the benefit of the practice, they have no faith and confidence in the practice of Satipatthana. Because they have no faith and confidence, they don't have any zeal, strong desire to undertake the practice. So that they become self-indulgent. They do not wish to suffer pain or exertion. They do not want to exert their energy. Some may be afraid of getting disease, pain, or even death. When they sit for some time, for a short time, they feel very painful, restless. They will move their body, change their position from one side to another, looking here and there, and giving way to stray thoughts. So, such yogis will not wish to exert energy. They will not be able to overcome difficulties because they are self-indulgent. They don't want to exert energy. They shrink back from the practice so that they will not be able to overcome the difficult situations. Sloth and torpor can set in, not wishing to exert energy, and even if one exerts energy, one gets exhausted very soon, so that the mind becomes viscous and slimy instead of being active and diligent. Because they are afraid of death, afraid of pain, disease. One should not be afraid of death or disease. One should have no regard for one's body, for life and one's body and one's pain and death. One should not be afraid of pain and death. One should not be afraid of physical pain. One should be able to take the risk that is necessary. So, even not only that they will be free from disease, they will not contract any disease in the course of the practice. Sudden diseases and painful situations, some ailments, can be cured in the course of your intensive practice. When the practice is going well, your blood circulation will circulate, will become purified, there will be good blood circulation, leading to healthy situations. So this is quite beneficial. There's nothing to lose. So one has got to take the risk, exert energy. Exerting ardent energy in order not to miss the arising object. So that when any difficult situations arise, you will not be self-indulgent, you will not be laid back, you will be able to overcome this sloth and torpor. So, if you're a loser, if you give way to these sloth and torpor, thina metta, difficult situations, then you will not be able to gain any insight. You will not be able to understand the Dhamma. You will not be, because you are not able to overcome these difficulties. If you are able to take the risk and overcome difficulties, for such dedicated yogis, they will be able to exert energy, what is known as Nekama Dhatu, liberating energy, and within a period of 1 or 2 days, in a very wonderful manner, there will be no more difficulty. Because you are taking an aim at the object all the time, your mind becomes spacious, it opens up, and there will be no contraction, no shrinking back. You become very energetic, wakeful, active, so that your noting mind will sink into the object of attention, beginning with the main object of rising and falling. When rising takes place, you note the object, taking a good aim with the driving force. The noting mind will penetrate the object as though it sinks into the object. When falling takes place also, as you note with these mental powers, you'll be able to penetrate it as though your noting mind sinks into the falling object. Just like when you are throwing a stone into the water, it will sink at the place where it is thrown. And there will be no distraction of your mind from the object of attention. Because your noting mind is concurrent, face-to-face with the object. Your noting mind is face-to-face with the object of attention, giving rise to sustained mindfulness. When that happens, your mind is said to be protected from these hindrances or obstacles, beginning with the hindrance or obstacle of sense desires and so on. Such is given by the expression areka pachupatana, the mindfulness that it has the manifestation of protection. Your mind is protected by sustained mindfulness. Then this sati, mindfulness, will arise automatically. You don't have to do it purposely, practice for it purposely. It will arise by itself. So long as as much as you are able to aim at the object with the driving force, your noting mind is bound to sink into the object. It will not miss the object. It will not overshoot the object. It will sink into the object. Because your noting mind is directly face to face with the object of attention. So that there will be no chance for these impurities to enter your stream of consciousness. This sati, mindfulness, will happen as a matter of course, without the necessity, without any necessity of exerting to let it arise. So long as you apply these two mental powers, aiming and energy, you are bound to sustain your mindfulness so that your noting mind will fall calm and collected on the object of attention. Such is given by the expression avekebo samadhi. There will be concentration which falls calm and collected on the object without any distraction, any wandering of the mind. The mind will not go elsewhere. It will stay at the place where you concentrate. At this time, the mind becomes unified. There's unification of mind on a single object. So that your noting mind will not be agitated by these impurities such as lust or craving or attachment. Your mind will not be agitated by anger, aversion, hatred, self-hatred, and so on. In this way, there will be no turbulence, no mental turbulence as a result of these hindrances to progress. So that there will be only calm and collection. The mind will fall calm and collected on the object momentarily, which is known as kanika samadhi, momentary concentration. Concentration arising on a momentary basis, on the object of attention on a momentary basis. With the practice of these two mental powers, aiming and energy. giving rise to the concentration. In this case, we call it momentary concentration. Just imagine at this stage, what happens to your mind. Will you be attacked by hindrances or obstacles to progress? Will your mind be attacked by thoughts of sense desires? Will there be any anger, aversion, or dislike, disappointment? Can there be any sloth and torpor arising in you? Can there be any agitation, restlessness and worries? Worries about good things undone, bad things done. And because you have full faith in the in the practice you are undertaking, there will be no skeptical doubt about the practice that you are doing. Such is freedom from insects, like the simile given by the commentaries. Just as a sapling is free from insects by prevention, by taking preventive measures, so too you will be free from all these hindrances to progress. The nirvanas, insects, set in, attack you, then you have to apply the treatment measures, certain measures, effective measures to remove these insects. And in the case of the practice, when nirvanas set in, when hindrances set in, you got to note and abandon them, overcome them. In this way, you apply these preventive measures and treatment, preventing and treating and preventing and treating, so that in the course of your practice, you'll be able to strengthen these three mental states of vidya, sati, samadhi, energy, mindfulness and concentration, which is known as samadhi khanda, the concentration group. And the group of these three mental states are called samatha, serenity or tranquility. So you've got to make a practice of it by aiming your noting mind towards the object. Make a practice of it so that you'll be able to do it precisely. The noting mind will be precise on the object. It will become concurrent. It will be taking away, so to speak, whatever objects arise in your mind and body. So, as much as you are able to apply this mindfulness, the noting mind is bound to fall calm and collected on the object of arising, giving rise to the realization or seeing of the true nature of the object, such as panya, wisdom. Beginning with the discernment of mind and body, that this is the mind, this is the body, as you are noting, and this is cause and condition, this is the cause of that, this is the effect of that. And then the universal characteristics of existence, such as impermanence and so on, as regards the psychophysical phenomena, subject to cause and condition. So as much as your noting mind is concurrent, you are bound to see these things, the true nature of these objects from the basics. And once you are able to see the universal characteristics, you are bound to cultivate knowledge with this application of the vidya, sati, samadhi, which is samatha in a wonderful manner. So today we have discussed the aspect of prevention and treatment of these hindrances to progress, giving the simile of insects and pests attacking the sapling. So tomorrow we shall continue with this subject. May the yogis be able to practice to overcome these nirvanas, beginning with the hindrances of sense desires, with the practice of the three mental states, vidya, sati, samadhi, by preventing them and also overcoming them as they arise, and see the true nature of the object with the practice of Vipassana jhana.
Sa